Fit for Life Radio. I'm Gary.
I'm Will.
We're with Coastal Strength and Fitness in Newport News, Virginia.
Newport News.
Today we're going to be riffing on, now that, I want to say the weather's warming up.
I mean, who knows, man?
It's been like in the 30s.
Dude, this morning was, our house was like 65 this morning.
Yeah.
It was rough.
But it is warming up. Like
it is. We're getting there.
We're going to get there. It's like, you've seen the memes for like Hampton Roads in general and how there's like 11 seasons.
Yes. You have fake spring.
Yeah, false spring or whatnot. But we want to talk about how to stay active on the peninsula.
Like, what are we doing? Where are we going?
Mm-hmm. And then kind of playing off of, if you listen to one of our recent podcasts on our programming, and we mentioned, the guidelines and activity guidelines and aerobic, and, you don't have to just walk, right? It doesn't have to just be structured exercise.
Yeah. It can be playing or exploring or going to have fun somewhere. Like, that's valid too. So don't feel like you need to go like just walk around your neighborhood or get on a treadmill or something like that.
Yeah.
Like there's a million ways to do it, and the more enjoyable it is, generally the better.
And believe it or not, everyone always, poo-poos where they live often, but there is a lot of stuff to do in the peninsula.
Yeah.
And we want to highlight some of those things. So a few we'll dive in on, and then some will probably come to us as we get going. But we
guarantee it.
Touch on, we have the Noland Trail.
Classic. I mean, everyone knows the Noland, and you can, create your own adventure.
Mm-hmm. And now it's even like Noland Trail squared because they reopened the lake.
Oh, yeah.
So you have like obviously the walking or, running, whatever you want to do there. I'm a fan of the Noland Trail too, especially in the summer and on the weekends. So you may be going during the day. It's so shaded.
Yeah.
It's
nice.
You don't have to get blasted. Whereas like another place that's good is Riverview Park, where they have like the walking, trail. And actually,
they just opened up a new trail down to the water
that kind of goes in the woods and stuff. Yeah.
Have you been there recently?
No.
There's just so much construction right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's still nice, and I love that. I like how open it is. I'm a big fan of that.
Which I was about to say the negative of that, but I like that too. But if you do go in like noon in the summer,
it's my preferred time. I don't know why, dude. They just bring on the harsh heat.
Yeah.
But even then, they've added, and once that place is done, because I know they had to do a whole bunch of stuff for, I don't know, the water stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, it'll be real nice.
So got that Noland Trail, and then down at Noland Trail, you can also rent. They got like little kayaks, and maybe even those little like paddle boats. So those are great options. You have Sandy Bottom Nature Park in Hampton, kind of it's like the borderline of Newport News, Hampton, and they have kayaking as well.
Yeah, and they have some trails.
Yep, hiking and stuff similar to Noland Trail. You have, and look, everyone's going to have, there's different circumstances, but I actually don't hate it, is Buck Road Beach.
Yeah.
They got like the little boardwalk kind of,
I feel like they've done a good amount of work down there,
and
though.
They got a good chunk of beach.
Yeah.
So you can, walk that in the morning, and actually the sun rises right there. So that's a good spot. And they got a bunch of volleyball nets and things.
Yeah, they got a good amount to do down there.
Stuff.
Kids playgrounds, and
the bathrooms are real nice. They've redone all that.
It's worth it. It's worth a visit, I think.
Yeah. And Yorktown Battlefield bike loop.
Yep. There's some biking you can do back there. I know a lot of people like to run back there too. So yeah, that's a good spot to go to. A lot of people are biking back there. And then adjacent to that, which is of course, you got to plan a little more, but you can bike Colonial Parkway too. And that goes all the way to
And can you get on
Williamsburg?
That? You do, yeah. It goes
you can get on it. Now they're doing like construction, but yeah, you can get straight through from the battlefield and go all the way to Williamsburg, I believe. Maybe even all the way to Richmond at some point. But yeah, like if you want like a long bike ride, that's a pretty good one. And then you have Yorktown Beach, which is right there. It's really nice to walk, like this, little hill, real nice picnic area. It's a small little river beach, but it's still decent. So that's another good place. We'll go walk that sometimes and see what kind of trash washes up.
Yeah. And then to kind of, a lot of people will be familiar with these places, but if not, so the Noland Trail, it's a 5-mile loop, right? You have, now there's a few different places you can park, 3. You have
Mariners Museum.
Mariners Museum. So where you pull in, that's where the big parking lot is. They have an entrance to the trail. Then you have, you kind of loop through, I don't know the name of the road, but you would go past that parking lot and go around, and then there's another little
side piece.
And then you have, if you keep going on and past that option, you get to the Lions Bridge where there's minimal parking.
Yeah. There's a couple spots.
There's also a way too. So, why would you want to go to the Lions Bridge or the little side piece parking? You can actually like do a loop of the trail from there. That's smaller, shorter.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do the whole thing.
Is it like 3 miles, 2.5, something like that?
Not even. It's not more than half.
Okay.
So yeah, you just said 3. Yeah, you said 2. Yeah. So half. Yeah. 2.5 miles. 2 to 2.5. Probably a little.
There's also an entrance off Warwick, right? You can turn right. Yeah. I've never gone in there.
I have. You have to like technically like just. It's not really.
Do you have to walk to the trail from there? Like it's like
you have to slide through the fence. It's not supposed to be an entrance. I mean, I think it is.
Oh, there's a bunch of parking over there. I thought it was an entrance.
I think it's like special events, maybe. That might even.
Okay.
Yeah,
it might be like an entrance for like getting stuff in for events and all that. Maybe that's what it is. Dude, I used to, I lived back there. My apartment backed up to the Noland Trail. So being able to just walk in.
Yeah.
Dude, that was.
Yeah.
I remember one time it snowed. It was a really good snow. And Whitney and I walked the Noland Trail, and it was like there was nobody there. It was super quiet. And then, dude, there was deer everywhere. It was like, dude, it was like being in a different place. Yeah, it was like a whole different world. That was super cool.
I mean, the cool thing is even without the snow, like once you get in on the trail,
oh, it's nice, man.
Like this is in Newport News.
Yeah.
And we take it for granted, but I'll meet people because I'm there. I can walk there from my house and I guess I just have one of those faces where people just talk to me. And I meet a lot of people from like Chesapeake and who like drive over just for the trip.
It's a nice trail and it's a good walk. Super safe. I mean, it's good.
The one thing which in most people you're going to make a destination to go there, if you're going to do the whole thing or not. Like we said, it's 5 miles. So if you're going a brisk walk, you're talking like 90 minutes would be like hustling.
Yeah.
So if you want to plan,
it is a good chunk of time.
2 hours, you're going to stop.
If you're walking your dog, plan for, if you want to do the whole loop, it's probably going to take you 2 hours.
A lot of sniffies.
Oh, a lot of sniffs.
And if you go to the main entrance, or
the Mariners Museum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you go to the other ones, but eventually you get so say you go to the main entrance and you get like 1.5 miles, 2 miles in, you get no man's land, where you're basically committed to doing the whole, you can't, if you go back, it's the same distance. I mean, you get out there and there's no.
You got to finish.
You got to finish.
You got to do it.
Right. So when you go to the other 2 parking spots, you got a lot of options.
Yeah, you have a way out.
Like you can, if you want to do the whole thing, you can eventually get going. If not, there's like 2-3 different places you can kind of loop or spin. And they have maps and stuff when you're there.
It's just like you're on your own or anything, but you do. There is that point of no return though, where you're like, all right, I guess I'm in it.
Yeah.
So just make sure you do that.
So yeah, that's a great way right there. You can double up walking, triple up running, or. Which I haven't done it yet, so we'll report back. But the kayaking, that they have going on,
it's another good one. I didn't even think about Newport News Park. There's a lot of stuff there, and we live pretty close, so we've done like the little paddle boats, whatever they're called. They'll rent out on the lake. I think you can rent kayaks. You can drop your own stuff in, I believe, and then like they have pretty good trails back there. It butts up to the golf course, and you can kind of walk, over to that too. But yeah, they have a lot of good trails. I'll take the dog there a lot, and it's super shady. So if you are looking for a shaded spot, that's another good spot to go to.
Yeah, I forget, I'm so close to Noland Trail and it's at the other end.
I mean, I almost forgotten I live 3 minutes down the road. So, yeah, that's a good one. I was gonna say one more thing about Newport News Park. Oh, I mean, they have frisbee golf there too. That's another just
like a whole course.
Yeah, they have a course there.
Yeah.
I've never played it.
I think I did when I was in high school.
Did you? Which I know I do. Every time I drive by, there's always people out there playing. It stays busy.
We did it. It was like part of the curriculum.
Part of the curriculum? Dang.
A
field trip to play frisbee golf?
Good behavior though. So be able to leave and go do it.
That's tough these days.
Let's see. I'm trying to see about the distance of the trail.
I can find that in point.
Yeah, wait. I wonder if they do that anymore. We used to I'm trying to think. We used to go kind of out for frisbee golf. We went out for something else too. You were allowed to go. So it's here we go. So they have trail options. The White Oak Nature Trail.
Yep.
2.4 mile loop. Then you have the Bikeway Trail, multi-use, 5.3 miles one way, paved. So
that's the new one they put in.
Yeah, biking.
That's the one that goes like right by Warwick, but there's a fence there, so you can't climb over anything.
You can go out and back for 10 miles total.
Dude, every time I drive by that lake, you get really water on both sides of you on Warwick. Something in me just thinks there's going to be like an alligator in there one day.
Like we live in Florida.
Like I'm just going to see this giant alligator.
Nah.
Maybe one day. I don't know.
Then we have, you can go kayaking and canoeing.
Yep.
On the Lee Hall Reservoir. Disc golf course, 18 hole. So full shebang. Full shebang inside the woods. And then also camping.
Yeah, they have decent campsites over there too. I mean, I know it's like down the street for most people here, but it's still like, you want to just go be in the woods for a little bit. It's not bad for Newport News.
Yeah. So they're both on like the two ends of the city.
Yeah, it's both. It's like, yeah, I mean the One City Marathon starts at Newport News Park and then goes past the Noland. But yeah, they're definitely opposite ends. So there's something for everybody.
And then over in like Hampton, like we said, you got the
Sandy Bottom, Buckrow.
Yep. Which same thing. Sandy Bottom has like two entrances.
Yeah.
They kind of loop through. One's kind of on almost the Newport News side, and then one is over almost close to where Hampton runs into Yorktown.
It's nice though.
Yeah, little trail, little. I've been there when for that you can kind of do the picnic table.
I think I've been there maybe twice.
Yeah.
Not nearly as much as the other places, but it's a good place to go.
Yeah. Really, with any of these, so talking about the different places to walk, kind of that different scenery, nature. For most people, they're all similar. So
yeah,
they're going to come down to the closest.
Proximity is generally the big thing.
Yeah. And then we have the Yorktown Battlefield Loop Trail.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is a 7 mile is the total loop. They have, obviously you can walk it.
Mm-hmm.
You can ride it with a bike. You can jog it.
Skip it.
Yeah. And then like Will said, I mean, and the unique thing to it is it's like, I mean, it's all the historical stuff, right? So you're like looking at the river, the York River there. You got the historic battlefield sites. And there's not much traffic. It's like off the beaten path.
No, it's not bad.
Yep. And then they have restrooms available at the visitor. That's key, man. I'm telling you, when you go do stuff like this, and if there's no restrooms,
you got to know.
I noticed Noland Trail, they pop, they have some now at kind of all the parking lots.
Do they?
Just like porta potties, but
I mean, look,
yeah.
If it comes down to it, that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be all right with it.
And you said you can get to the Colonial Parkway Trail from that. Like if you're on your bike, you can.
Yeah, you can hop right on Colonial Parkway.
Right on that trail.
Yeah. And like I said, they have, there's always some construction going down on Colonial Parkway. So like check before you decide to go. But
Now, the
Yeah.
thing with that is, like I said, the cool thing with the Yorktown Loop Trail, which I've done on a bike before, like you can be super casual, right?
Yep.
Like you could really just, I mean, it's on a,
Colonial Parkway, there's cars.
yeah.
They do shut it down, I don't know, for certain periods or times to where there are no cars. But normally, like, you are sharing it with cars.
Yeah.
So that is something to consider.
And details on that. So it goes.
Yeah, tell me if I'm wrong at all, but
Yeah.
that's all my understanding.
So yeah, from Yorktown to Williamsburg, through Williamsburg, 23 miles total. There's kind of like 3 segments. So you got Yorktown to Williamsburg is 13 miles. You got Williamsburg to Jamestown is 10 miles. And Yorktown to the Naval Weapons Station is 3 to 4 miles. So you can pick a starting point and do it out and back from any of those places. So those are the 3 places where you can basically get on. And you can walk, run, or ride.
I think once a year, someone at the gym has done it. They'll do a full ride. They'll shut it down all the way to Richmond, and they'll end at, like, there's a certain pub or bar that they end at
In Richmond? Or,
yeah, you can ride from here all the way to Richmond, and there's, giant group of people doing it. A lot of people will go, like, leave a car or truck there, and, then that way they can ride back. But that would be a cool thing to do.
And there's no designated walking or bike path, so it's a shared road.
Yeah. Correct.
And they have park bathrooms available at the major stops. So, like we said, Yorktown Battlefield Visitor Center, which is where you get on at Yorktown and Jamestown, and then the little short one, the Naval Weapons Station.
Also at Yorktown Beach, you can rent like kayaks and stuff. We've done that, and you can go kayak the river.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And really, you can go as far as you want. I mean, that's up to you. And they'll also rent, like, do they rent Segways down there? Which isn't going to help you get your steps in, but it might be fun for you. Yeah, it's a good time down there.
Yeah, and then another one, way less accessible, way more specialized equipment, way more skill and safety involved. But another option is paddleboarding.
Yeah.
Great place to paddleboard. So I know I've gone paddleboarding down at, like, Menchville Marina, which is near the Riverside Park. Riverview Park.
I know what you meant.
So, like, you can put in there, and you have, I know in Pocosin.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Pocosin.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
Does anyone paddleboard, or they have, like, paddleboarding classes, don't they? Or rentals? Yeah, they do. So they do have at Yorktown Beach.
Yeah.
There's a place.
It's probably the same place that does kayaks.
Yeah, Patriot Tours and Provisions.
That's who it is.
So you can actually rent a paddleboard. So obviously you can paddleboard there too. BYO, bring your own. There's also the Back Creek at Dare Marina in Yorktown.
Dare Marina. Yeah, I don't know where that is. Not a native.
Feel it's close to back in
Back in Dare.
Look up Dare Marina. And see.
Oh, it's past Dare Deli, off Dare Road, I believe. Someone's probably listening, wondering why I don't know where anything is after living over here for, I don't know, 8 years, 9 years.
You can also paddleboard at Sandy Bottom Nature Park.
Can you really?
Yep.
Oh.
So that's another check there. That would actually, thinking through it and how it is there, it's real chill there. That would be a good spot, especially if you're, like, learning.
Yeah.
It's calm. It's a lake.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about a current or anything.
As opposed to the river.
Yeah.
You can also James River from Huntington Beach.
Oh yeah, right by the bridge.
Yeah, but again, that's going to be. I mean, the river. That's a. You don't. I wouldn't recommend that for beginners.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
It's fast moving. There is also the museum trail in Pocosin. That's actually pretty long. I think it's the Museum Marsh Trail that runs back there.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like 5 or 7 miles. I haven't done the whole thing, but Whitney and I went back there years ago, and it's pretty nice. So that's another one if you are in Pocosin, not to forget everybody there.
And if you're interested in the stand-up paddle boards, like we said, the Patriot Tours, has rentals. So there's a spot called Freedom Sup Rentals.
Sup.
So, and there's also an REI. And where's REI?
REI?
It's not a REI. No.
The only REI, there's like one in Richmond and one in Virginia Beach, I think. Someone's lying, bro. Who's lying?
Let's see.
I got poor Wi-Fi connection in here.
Yeah. Mine's loading up slow.
I'm running out of minutes. Do you remember when you used to have minutes, bro? That felt like such a scam.
In text, you had to pay per text.
Like,
remember,
how is there a limit?
you would get free minutes after, say, like 9
Yeah. That's when,
Okay.
call your girlfriend. Talk all you want. Yeah, the closest one is Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's lying, bro.
All right. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to do. I mean, there's probably more than that, right? We can't list everything.
You don't have to just walk, or go do some things that don't feel like
You
exercise.
don't just have to walk around your neighborhood over and over and over. Like, drive 10 minutes to one of these places. I'm sure one of those is 10 minutes from you. Has to be.
That's the other good thing. If you're on the peninsula, I mean, we just between Buckrow Beach, Sandy Bottom, River View,
Yorktown,
Noland Trail.
like Newport News Park, like that's everything.
Yeah.
We've covered it all. So you should be able to get to one of those
Mm-hmm.
places and, change your weekend up a little bit.
It amazes me sometimes how, like, I'll meet people who've lived here their whole life, and they're like, I've never gone to the Noland Trail.
Which is so weird. It seems like such like a fixture. Maybe it's because we're in an active bubble though.
That's it. It's, you realize how much of a lifestyle.
Doing stuff like that is. Yeah.
I remember when I was in California, I mean, first thing we did was, like, we found these hikes.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to someone who I knew and had lived out there their whole life.
They've never
And
done it. Any of them?
I met them out there and went on a hike, and they were like, I've never been on a hike. And the hike, I mean, there's like mountains.
Yeah.
Like,
it's cool. I went with you. It's rad.
Yeah. I mean, we went on both hikes, right?
Yeah.
Or, both.
Yeah, we did Runyon.
Yep.
And then I don't remember what the other one was.
Temescal,
Yeah.
which is where the fires started.
Yeah.
Recently.
But those are really cool hikes.
Yeah, they've never been on a hike.
Which is so,
Yeah.
like, I want to know stuff. I want to see things. And
I guess it sounds crazy, like if you were an alien and you came and you're like, so you're going to go climb this mountain, not to get
just for fun.
right. But again, like, we know all gyms and fitness is literally to recreate the, movement that we used to get
Yes.
with, because we
When we
had
had
to.
to do manual labor to get our resources.
But yeah, then that's where you see, like, what we try to encourage people to do is get active.
Yeah.
You have to it sounds silly.
You just got to do it.
Because it's cliche, but yeah, you got to make it a lifestyle.
Yep.
Right. And then, yeah, here's the thing: you'll feel good, you'll be energized. Being out in nature we can, the outcomes on the benefits of being in nature. It's like you can't deny it.
They're great.
Even for things like we're not just like exercise, fitness, also like mental health
Mm-hmm.
and such.
Yeah. Being in the sun, being in nature, walking through nature.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has just such good benefits.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Lot to do. Maybe in next weekend, go try one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Go explore a little bit. It's supposed to be nice this weekend, by the way. Well,
Yeah, warmer. So 80 might even touch 80.
when are we posting this? Next.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Probably next week.
Well,
This past week.
last weekend is supposed to be nice.
And
But we are approaching good weather. Like, we should have plenty of opportunities to go to these places.
yeah. If you're a veteran, let us know your favorite.
Mm-hmm. I know we have some people
Let
that they've done them all. They
Let
do them all routinely.
Let us know something we're missing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. I already know your order. I was gonna say if you ranked them, and you said you haven't done the bike loop.
No.
Every time I go biking, I'm like, man, I should go biking more. But it also has more, like, it's more risky.
There's more barriers too. Like, you got to friggin' bring your bike everywhere. You got to load it up.
Yep. Even honestly, like Riverview,
Mhm.
like riding your bike around there, it's kind of cool out in the open. It's like that's the thing. Riding the bikes on the streets, the main roads around here, it's just not people.
You know
used to
what?
it.
That's one thing that I definitely moving from the south side to here is it is not very bike friendly over here.
Yeah.
And not that Virginia Beach is the pinnacle of like bikeable city, but like, dude, there's sidewalks everywhere. Then there's not many places where I was like, I don't know about riding here. But talking about riding in Yorktown, there's no way, dude. There's no sidewalks. There's barely a shoulder. Like, I don't want to take my bike anywhere at all. And then Newport News is just not set up very well for it.
But then right here, you listen to this podcast.
Boom.
And you're like, man, I haven't done the Yorktown Battle Loop
I know.
for biking. And you live minutes.
I do. 5 minutes away.
Minutes.
I used to go, I could get probably a ride for hours through neighborhoods. And I miss being able to do that. Because now it's like, dude, I got to get on a main road where people are going 60.
Dude, there's a lot happening over there. I had to go
Not a
down. I
chance.
went to that school thing
Oh, yeah.
weeks ago. So I had to go all the way down and, right around, like, there's a lot of, like,
A lot of stuff popping up.
stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
As much as they fight
Yeah, it's
progress.
happening.
Like,
I mean, I understand why, because now more people and more noise and
Yeah.
more this and that, but it's,
like that.
eventually everything's going to be, filled.
It'll be good. And like, I do think, yeah, it's another topic. Like, you shouldn't just, let's throw condos and condos and condos, like, because that does kind of ruin things. But having, new local businesses pop up, like, that's a no-brainer, man. Like, we have Q Daddies popping up, which I'm pumped for. They catered our wedding. And then there's Virginia beer companies popping in.
Daddy's is going to be the old Pops, right?
Yeah, Pop's Diner, they're building. And then Virginia Beer Company, one day. That thing's been...
No, didn't something happen with that? Like, it's not going to be them no more.
No, it was another company. And now
and
it's
then
Virginia Beer Company came in.
That was weird. Like,
I think they ran out of money.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to ask my guy. I'll figure it out.
So someone told me how, Coastal Fermentory,
Mm-hmm.
and they opened their second location over
They're over near Orange
Trader
Theory.
Joe's and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. That reminds me of something else. But they're buying a brewery on the, like, south side
Really?
and turning it into,
Which one?
I'm not sure. They
Damn
told
it.
me. I want to say it was in Chesapeake, though.
Okay.
And then I also saw
Curious.
today, did you see Costco?
Yeah, they're moving where
So-
Ferguson
yeah.
was. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, where it's at now is so congested.
Dude, it sucks. I
parking.
hate that parking lot. It makes me want to just...
It's full. If you go on a Wednesday, you can't.
It makes me want to fight people,
It's
dude.
insane. So I guess they're going to, like, tear all that down and it's going to be right there.
I guess, yeah. Which is going to be dope, but
Yeah.
traffic's going to be worse
Yeah.
potentially
And
through
the
there.
airport's right there. And,
I mean, it'll be good to be a standalone building, though, because I do hate navigating that parking
Yeah.
lot. What are they going to put there? What do you put into something as big as Costco?
yeah, I don't know.
Like, what can, aside from like a Lowe's or a Home Depot, like,
Gym.
did it,
A big Globo gym.
when people are like, oh, you should put your gym in this place, and it's like a 40,000 square foot building. Do you understand how this works?
Yeah, I don't know. It'll probably just sit empty.
It probably will, which is so.
I mean, everything there. I mean, it's still, that's, a busy place.
I wonder if the traffic's going to drop a lot without Costco, though. Because like Fresh Market's still there, and people do like
Yeah.
their Fresh Market, and World Market is not essential, but
Yeah.
they have some cool stuff in there. What is that? It?
Yeah, that does take up that whole thing.
Mhm.
There's like Best Buy kind of.
And then Best Buy is in the other. It's a shopping
Yeah.
center.
Oh, and they got
away.
the gas right there. What do you do with that?
Costco gas. Yeah.
Some will go there. Though. I mean, Shake Shack just moved in. Chick-fil-A's across the street.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's not like the area is going to shut down. But
Yeah.
I'm just curious about that little strip in particular. I wonder if just someone else will move into that gas station at least. And
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Sunseeker.
You get a Publix,
Y'all take Costco space.
take the whole thing, baby. It's just me in the very back with an espresso machine and a
Sandy,
counter.
I just literally pictured you sitting on like this chair you're sitting on now in an empty building, just canning, making the little can
Making
drink.
a little table set up.
Canning all day.
Oh man,
6 packs of Sunseeker latte.
trying to pay rent on a, I don't know how many square foot you think that is. It's more. It's huge.
I can't even.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Like I want to say, I don't know why, like 40,000 popped in my head.
That's
but
what it is. That's what pops into my head. But I have no clue. It's hard when it's not empty, dude. It's hard to know how big a place is.
Let's see. Let's see what the internet thinks the average Costco is.
You're not asking specific enough questions.
Oof, we weren't even close. The average Costco warehouse is 146,000 square feet,
That's what I just saw.
with the smaller ones being 80 to 100.
It's the new one in Newport News, I think, is 146.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's 2.5 football fields under one roof. The typical big box gym is usually 20 to 40,000.
Yeah. Dude, 140,000 square feet.
And then just knowing like us, like normally in that area, like you're paying like $25 a square foot.
Which they're probably paying less.
So we'll say
I would
20.
imagine.
Yeah, just for like the vibe.
On a 146,000 square foot building, you probably get a little.
Yeah, but not a ton.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not
at the
saying
end of
it's
the
$5
day,
a square foot, but
they could split it up and
I'm sure they negotiated.
just say 20. Do 20 times 150,000.
Well, we know it's $3 million.
And then divide that by 12.
3 million divided by 12. 250.
250,000. That's the monthly rent. You better be canning some.
You gotta have a
lot
lot
of
of cans,
How much is one latte gonna cost?
Like $350.
Got to pay that rent.
Gotta pay rent, dude. God, that's a big building. Nothing's going in there, man.
Mhm.
They're not doing anything with it. It's gonna sit empty for 10 years.
With Sam's Club move in there? There's one in Hampton.
No, there's a Sam's over by the Walmart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We'll stop doing BJ's. That's what it is. BJ's in Hampton.
BJ's is in Hampton.
Someone like, but then they would run into the same problems that the Costco had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe looking that up isn't a good
All right.
BJ sign.
Now we're. Yeah. Hey, if you need some, if it's raining, just go walk around Costco.
Just make it a walkable space to turn into a park.
Get your activity guidelines. Yeah.
Look, I don't know, man. Walk around Costco makes you want to fight people too. They got the wide carts, and people don't know how to act. I could probably do a whole episode on people standing in the way in the grocery store.
I ordered some Vans, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I miscalculated the baby. I got some for JJ too. And I miscalculated the size. So I took him to the store.
The van store?
Yeah.
In the mall?
Exchange him in the mall. And I went early.
You catch the mall walkers?
But I was kind of like
you were a mall walker?
You know,
you felt like you fit in?
got going. And I was like, man, I could, you know, this isn't so bad. I actually feel like that's the only value of a mall like that anymore.
Walking.
Yeah, like go walk when it rains.
Do you think that at some point there's going to be a lot of value in indoor walkable spaces like that? Or do you think there has to be something attached to it? I mean,
everyone's already indoors, right? All the time.
I mean, yeah, but as a safe place to walk.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't know. Because the mall does serve that purpose because it's big and open and largely safe versus hitting the streets when it's still dark.
Yeah. I think about that all the time, how I like being a guy.
It's a lot easier to go walking.
I know.
Yeah.
I never think twice about going out at like
I know
4 a.m. Arnie's up. Let me take him for a walk. Whereas like it's probably a completely different thought process.
Yeah. I know Whitney used to hate when I would have to get up and work once a week in the morning at the gym. So I'd be going at really 3:45. So she would take the dog out in the morning, and I know she hated it. And that's part of the reason why, you know, it's dark and you don't know what's going on. So yeah, we're fortunate.
Yeah. You know, that's the other good thing about like the places we talked about. They're pretty, you know, heavily,
they're traveled
and
yeah,
lots of people on them, you know, not just like you're typically going to be
like, and definitely like that is something to consider though. Like,
yeah, the time
going really late at like the edge of when the Noland Trail is open, like might not be the best idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause, and like we said, how you can get to that part of the trail where it's like no man's land, like you're 2 miles in, you know?
So like it's dark on the trail and you're by yourself. Like that might not be the best idea too. So it's like
somewhere like Riverview.
Yeah.
Where it's wide open. It's kind of like all consolidated, like in that big open field.
And it
area.
is like in a neighborhood,
Yeah.
you know, and it is pretty viewable from the street, you know. So not saying nothing bad can happen, but it's, yeah, probably a better bet than the closed off Noland Trail where
Yeah. Yeah.
you don't know who's lurking.
So that's why, going back, hey, there is reasons to try them all.
Yeah.
Kind of see maybe what works best for you, what you're most comfortable with, confident with.
What you like.
But yeah, and then, hey, maybe if you're comfortable with water, get the kayak and the paddle.
Hop in.
That's good ways to get that activity in.
Yeah, both of those are, when you haven't done them in a while, you're like, ah, damn, this is way harder than I remember.
I know.
Because it's just such a different movement that any of us are used to. But I encourage everyone to try it.
I like the little paddle boats, man. Get the quads going.
Dude, we did it when we did it at Newport News Park. It was like the hottest day of the year. And we got out to the middle. And the sun was directly overhead, no breeze. And we both were like, we got to go back now. Like, now that we got all the way out here, now we have to paddle back. And it was kind of miserable.
You got no sunscreen on. So you're like, I got 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, we better get in before I roast, man.
I'll never forget the dude on one of the Naked and Afraids. And they don't know where they're going to go. Drop them. It's like Fiji.
Yeah.
And then, they drop them in the middle of the ocean, right? Or whatever it is. And so they got to get to the shore. Well, that, took like an hour. But one of the dudes was like, well, the girl was smart. She also just had like darker complected, but she, just in case, had gone to the tanning bed a bunch. So she like had her like max tan, and the dude was mad fair, and he just got
you're gonna get roasted,
demolished.
Well, imagine it takes you an hour in the water in a tropical place,
and then he has such a bad sunburn that for like the first like week.
Did he have sun poisoning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do nothing. She had to do it all. And it was, dude, I felt so bad.
I mean, like, and how do you help that really? Like when you're super white like us, you can only get so tan.
I know. That's why on those shows, you got to fatten up before you go, so you can like starve longer. You got to plan.
Yeah, fat and tan.
You got to plan. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But then imagine you go to, I just saw something, you do all that, but then you get fat and tan, but then you go to like Alaska,
the Arctic,
and they drop you in a place too with like food abundance.
Yeah, you're like, oh no,
you're just grubbing the whole time. You get fatter, and so you end up your whole thing. You just end up you end up like worse than you started, and you can never recover.
Oh no,
you just stay stuck. That'd be something. You get down, then they drop you in a place, and there's just like a bowl of chestnuts.
That's it.
You're just eating acorns, crushing them. Antelope walks by and like cracks his leg. Just you don't even have to hunt it.
It's just there.
You stumble, and there's like a sharp branch that you can use for.
It's just waiting. It's just waiting for you
to help, like take it apart.
Oh man!
And you go take a dip in the water, and there's just like a
fish
so
there.
much salmon you can just grab them.
Yeah, they're stuck.
You're like, man, but you gain 60.
Yes, you're like, this is not the experience I thought I was gonna have.
But yeah, then you do watch some of those, and guys will go on. They're like naturally like lean, thin,
and it's like you're gonna have some trouble.
And they're like, 3 days in, they're already like
famished.
It's like 8 pounds.
Yeah,
they're like,
should have prepped harder.
All right,
let's wrap this
there
up.
we go. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, we'll catch you next time.
See ya.